Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Storytime. I haven't done one of these in a very long time. I think I've only ever done two of them. I just keep forgetting to do these, and I want to do more. I just, forget. But anyways, I had an idea to tell this story that happened to me no, not about. Actually, it was like 14 years ago. This is a story I've told a couple times to several people because I think it's funny. Once you hear it, you're probably going to question like why I would even reveal that this happened to me. But I just think it's funny, Basically, it's a story of the last time I could have went on Back to the Future, the ride, which was a ride at Universal Studios in Florida. They also had one in California and I think Japan. But I obviously, went to the one in Florida a lot because I live in Florida. But this is just a funny story that I love to tell people, and it's sort of embarrassing, but I don't know. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. So I just thought of it recently, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should do a story time about it, something different. But anyways, once you hear the story, you'll get why it's embarrassing. So basically, the story behind this, if you guys didn't know, Back to the Future, the ride, was a ride that was at Universal from, I think it was 1991 until 2007, so 16 years. It's one of the original rides that was at Universal. Like, it wasn't there on day one, but it was, it was there during the first year, I guess you could say. So it is like one of the classic rides that a lot of people love, a lot of people miss. And I did have a chance to go on it a few times when I was very young. I do, vaguely remember being on the DeLorean and, seeing the giant screen in front of me and all the stuff going on. If you guys don't know, it's a simulator ride. Basically, nowadays, it's the Simpsons ride. That's what replaced it. All they did really was they changed the theming of the entire ride to The Simpsons. It's literally the same building. It's the same giant IMAX screen, same concept. All they did was remove the Back to the Future stuff and just replace it with Simpsons stuff. And that ride is awesome, too. I will say The Simpsons, I've been on it many times now, and it's a great ride. I have no problem with it whatsoever. And, I guess they had to do what they had to do. Universal loves to get rid of old rides and replace them with newer things. So The Simpsons was a worthy replacement. I have, no problems against that. But anyways, yeah, so it was a simulator ride, and it was really fun, and you get to go on this, mock DeLorean sort of car vehicle and travel through time, chasing Biff around, and if you guys didn't know, it's included on, the Blu-rays and the DVDs of Back to the Future, so you could easily find the footage of it. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but it was a fun ride, I still remember it vaguely, like I said. So, the last time I would have got to go on it, which is, going to be this whole story, this took place in 2006, I believe. I could be wrong on the year, but I'm pretty sure it was the summer of 2006. Because every summer, my family, we would go on vacation to Orlando. We would either go to Disney World or Universal. We would pretty much switch in between every year. Switch between going to parks. Once in a while, we'll go to Busch Gardens, in Tampa. But yeah, it must have been 2006 because this happened a few months before the ride closed, which was in, I think, March of 2007. I looked it up. I think it was March of 2007. But anyways, yeah. So this story must have taken place in summer of 2006 because I could have got to go on the ride right before it closed. So here's the story, right? So me and my dad are in line to go on the Back to the Future ride. Now, my mom and my sister were with us also, but my sister at the time, she must have been only 5 or 6 years old, I think, because, turning 6 in November, yeah, so she was 5 years old, so she couldn't go on any rides, really. I think she might have been, a little, too young to do that, so my mom took my sister elsewhere in the park, and me and my dad were waiting in line to go on the Back to the Future ride, and, like I said, it's a ride we've been on before, so, it was just whatever, so me and my dad are standing in line. And it's a long line. For those of you who have been on either Simpsons or Back to the Future, you understand how long the line can get and how big the building is. So the line can, wrap around, the staircases and the stairwells and all that stuff. So the line was really big. And I didn't say anything, but I had to go to the bathroom really, really bad. Now, you know, at the time I was just a little kid. I didn't really, think to myself, oh, I should actually not go in line. I can handle it. I can stand in line and wait. So we get in line and I don't say anything. I'm like, you know what? What's the worst it could be? It could be like a 20-minute, 30-minute wait. I can hold it. So I don't know what took so long, but the line did not move. This was like the longest wait ever, especially as a kid. So we're just standing there in line. I don't say a word, and I've got to pee really, really bad. And we're just standing there, and we're there for I don't remember how long it was, but at least 20 minutes. We're waiting and waiting and waiting. And we finally get to the, we're about to get to the room, the first room you get to where they play a little video and it sets you up for what happens during the ride or whatever. And then you get on to the actual ride itself afterwards. But right before we got to that room, I just couldn't hold it anymore. I'm like, oh my God, Dad, I got to go to the bathroom really bad. And he's just like, what? Because the funny thing is, I didn't say a thing to him about it. I was just kind of like, I guess I had a lot of pride or something. I was like, I can hold it. It's no big issue. But yeah, I thought the line would have went by much faster than what it was, and we were standing there way too long, and I just couldn't hold it anymore, so I said, I gotta pee really bad. And I felt really bad for my dad, because we literally had to turn around and go through the entire sea of people that were behind us, and go, excuse me, we gotta get out of here. Like, I don't remember if he picked me up or not, like, I was only 10 years old at the time. But I don't remember if he picked me up or he was like holding my hand, whatever, but we had to get through all the sea of people behind us and get out of there so I could go to the bathroom. So the closest restroom is actually at the Men in Black ride, which is next door to the ride. I don't know how far away it is, but it's not that far. I don't know how far away it is in terms of feet, but it really isn't that far away. So we get out of line, we make it out of the Back to the Future line, the building, whatever, and I got to run to that bathroom, and my dad's just like, run, go. He lets me go, and I start running. I go, I run, and I couldn't hold it anymore. I don't know how long I was holding it at that point, but I was holding it for a long, long time. And literally right before I got to the restroom, like, I didn't get to enter the actual restroom, but right before I could, it just let loose, and yes, folks, I pissed my pants. I was 10 years old, and it's the only time it's ever happened to me. I will say that right now. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why on earth would you tell us this? Well, the tragic thing about it is that I never got to go on Back to the Future the ride ever again after that. Because, what happened, I peed myself, and then, my dad took me to the restroom, we cleaned up, whatever. So afterwards, I was just kind of like embarrassed, and, the line for the ride was even longer, I think, than what it was originally. So we're just like, all right, forget it. We'll just go on it next time. But unfortunately, there was no next time, because a few months later, my dad saw an article, I think, on the computer, or either on TV, on the news. I don't remember what it was, but he told me, he said, oh, they're going to close the ride now, the Back to the Future ride, and they're going to replace it with something. I don't remember if he knew it was Simpsons at the time or not, but yeah, I just vaguely remember that. He told me, he's like, oh, no more Marty McFly, and that's it, and it's over. So yeah, I really regret not going to the bathroom before we got in line. Yeah, that was definitely a big mistake. So unfortunately, yeah, the ride ended up closing March of 2007. And yeah, we didn't get to go back to Universal, I think, until maybe like 2009, I think, was the next time we went there. And it was Simpsons at that point. And, Simpsons is a great ride, like I said. But, yeah, that's the sad part about it. Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies ever. And that ride is very nostalgic, and it's really cool. And I was stupid. So yeah, guys, if you have any stories like that, the last time you could have went on something, or, I guess when you peed your pants, I don't know if you want to share. But yeah, that unfortunately happened to me, and I just think it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's tragic, in my opinion. If we had known the ride was going to close, we would have went on it again. We would have just went back in line, but we didn't know the ride was going to be gone. It was just something unexpected that happened, unfortunately. So Oh well, but like I said, I vaguely remember when I was very young, I went on that ride and it was cool. But yeah, guys, that's my story. So let me know your stories. I might have other theme park stories I might think of. Because I love theme parks. I love rides. I've never had a problem with any kind of ride ever. I've always enjoyed them. I've never been afraid of rides or anything. But yeah, I've been to Universal like tons of times. Disney World also tons of times, but it's been a while. We haven't been to Disney in a long time. But yeah, guys, that's my story. So if you have anything interesting to share in the comments, let me know. And what'd you think? But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening, and have a good one. Bye bye.